Hi everyone, it's Autumn again. Today I'm going to be doing my very first book haul and I'm super excited, so let's just jump right into it. The first book that I picked up is Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult. I bought this book for my mom for Mother's Day last year because the premise is actually about a young girl named Alice who is in search of her estranged mother who disappeared after a tragic accident. I have not read a lot of Jodi Picoult. I know there's people who just read every single book as soon as it comes out. I am not that kind of person because every time that I read Jodi Picoult, it takes me about a year to emotionally recover. But what is the fun of a book if it doesn't rip your heart out, stomp on it, and then laugh at you in the face and you still love it anyways? It's a love-hate relationship. Speaking of ripping your heart out, the next book that I picked up is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I have not read this book, did watch the movie, which I know is kind of like a mortal sin in the reading world. You're probably like, Autumn, how have you not read The Fault in Our Stars? And it's like, because I could not handle the premise, but I felt like it was important to have in my library because I do have John Green's other books. I read Paper Towns and Looking for Alaska, which I thought were really phenomenally written and composed, and John Green is an amazing man. Him and his brother Hank, I watch them all the time on their Vlog Brothers channel. I do feel like it's the kind of book that you kind of just suck up through osmosis, you know, and it's there because everyone is talking about it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read this one, guys. The next book that I pick up is You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. This got rave reviews from so many different news outlets. Maria Semple is a really, really wonderful writer. She's witty. I've never read her before, but I've heard really great things. All the reviews talk about how thoughtful of a writer she is and how she's able to really put things in there that maybe you don't even recognize through your first read. Going along the whole line of mother-daughter stories, which seems to be my thing today, is the fact that the premise of the story is about a young girl who's 15 who is in search of her mother Bernadette, who is agoraphobic and takes off after Bernadette reclaims her prize of going on a family trip to Antarctica. It's actually comprised of like emails and like FBI statements and psychiatrist sessions, which I find sometimes could be a little bit annoying when reading, but people say that it really, really works in this book and kind of like strings you along on this really wonderful adventure. So probably reading this one first before any of the other ones because I'm super excited about it. The next book I picked up is A Little Life by Hanya Yagahara. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I've heard so many amazing things about it. I've heard that it's literally changed people's lives. It was a National Book Award finalist. It was voted one of the best books of the year by all kinds of different outlets, New York Times, Publishers Weekly, Kirkus Reviews. I do know that this book should have a trigger warning because it does have depictions of self-harm and depression. It is an awfully big book, so it's definitely not a light beach read, but if you do want to bring it to the beach, why not, you know? So I hope that I would be able to set aside some time in the near future to talk about this book because I feel like it's one of those books that's just really, really important to read. On a little bit of a lighter note, I also picked up this gem, Pleasure of My Own Company by Steve Martin. Steve Martin is an amazing actor and also an amazing writer. Isn't that crazy? The first book I read by him was called Shop Girl, and I didn't even realize it was the same Steve Martin that I love so, so much. Ugh, I'm such a Steve Martin fangirl. I was super excited to see that he has other books. The cover is really beautiful. I'm not sure if you can tell. Published over a decade ago, but Steve Martin's writing is just so timeless. It's like he writes things and you read them and you're like, how did he know that, you know? It was actually really timely, me picking up this book, because my boyfriend actually just brought me home a present. It's a picture of Steve Martin from the late 70s that his dad got signed at a concert in Germany. So cool. Actually, let me just get it, okay? So here it is, Steve Martin from the late 70s. Isn't he so amazingly handsome? Just kidding, but not really. On the back, there's like his like stage notes from the concert, and it says February 17th, 1978. I'm really glad to have this, and I'm definitely going to frame it and put it over my bed. I also picked up this book. It's called The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. It was a bestseller when it was released in 2009. The agent that I worked for actually co-founded the literary management company in New York City that picked up this book, so I felt kind of cool going in the back and seeing the name there. But the book itself is actually really ingenious. It's told from the perspective of a dog, and he examines his family that he lives in and all of the sacrifices that they have to make, and he watches TV to sort of educate himself about the human condition. I really love books that take a unique perspective on narration. I really loved Room by Emma Donoghue and how she used the 5-year-old boy to tell the story, and so I'm excited to see how this author thinks a dog views the world, and hopefully it'll be really interesting. I have a feeling that it's going to be really, really great, and so I'm definitely going to be reading this first. But afterwards, You Go Bernadette. It's on the short list, basically. The last book that I picked up is a Jana Ivanović novel. It's called Wicked Business. It is a Lizzie and Diesel novel. I have no idea what that means. I've never read a Jana Ivanović book before, but there was just so many at the book sale that I was like, I'm going to read one. Like, I am going to read a Jana Ivanović novel. It is going to happen. I was a little embarrassed to ask like which one you could read as a standalone novel because I feel like she's an author who writes a lot of series books. But I saw this one. The cover's really pretty. It like kind of sparkles in the light. There's also some stickers in the back. They look like bumper stickers. I'm not sure how relevant they are anymore. I haven't gone to the links that are on the stickers. Hoping that it will be a good representation of her writing and a good story. I'm hoping it'll be good. I hope me and Jana Ivanović will be a good match. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my first book haul. I had so much fun doing this, and I'm definitely going to be doing this in the future. And to tell you that I actually got all these books at my library's semi-annual book sale, and I only spent $4, which is an amazing deal. And now I just have so many books in my to-be-read pile, and so much more extra money to spend on more books. It's just a relentless cycle. Leave a like or a comment if you enjoyed my video. I've already received so much love from my first video, and I hope you guys continue to come out and comment and like and catch me on Twitter because I'm on there too. Next week I'm going to be doing my June wrap-up, and I'm hoping that I can read at least half the books that I showed you in time for that. I will catch you guys on the flip side.